Nerds and geeks back at it again. The legendary nights of the Nerd-O-Roundtable with this weekend's edition of some nerd-tastic Pot Pourri. Yours truly, King Nerdificent Twala Sharp in the building, joined by the one and only Mo Kelly. How you doing, good sir?
Man, it's good to be back with the nerds on a semi-consistent and regular basis. Let me just say that. Fuck the Seattle Seahawks, but can't win them all. I'm kind of upset with my Rams losing, so if I should just blurt out "fuck the Seahawks" every now and then, don't take it personally.
Not at all. Look, as Jamie Foxx taught me, any given Sunday. Ever since I saw that movie, I was like, oh yeah, any given Sunday, your team can lose, your team can win, man. Yeah. Tom is talking Cunningham. How you feeling, good sir?
I am all right. I'm not super excited to see the Pats in it, but without Brady, that's fine. And also, as a person who was in high school in Chicago when the Bears were in the Super Bowl shuffle foolishness, it really kind of hurt me to see them get knocked out.
Who knocked them out?
Yeah, I know. The people who lost today did. So,
chickens.
So what I will say is that at least this postseason play did give some Colin Kaepernick revenge, because the 49ers got absolutely washed, which made me happy. So,
well, that's because they did Kaepernick dirty, and they will never succeed until they do right by Kaepernick. I love that meme. I love it. Shout out to the nerds joining us live. We've got Rob Cat 67, Movie Guy 19, Daryl Sexton, and Eric Lasardo. What is up, my man? I believe Dr. Liz will be joining shortly. Ryan Twitch Master McBain, he may be twitching away, not sure. Anthony from 2 Cubicles Down, but look, you've got the three of us starting it off with this week's buzz. This week's buzz in the Nerdverse is something that I was worried we were not going to see because of all the disrespect that has happened at these award shows leading up thus far. Oh, and Dr. Liz joins us just in time as we're about to get into it, because as I was leading in, Dr. Liz, all the disrespect that we saw from the last 2 rounds of award shows, with, for me, Sinners not being justly nominated and then being given awards like best box office draw or some shit like that. I was like, what are we doing right now? Sinners is literally hands down one of the top tier films, and for me, the people that have won in categories against any individual in the Sinners have not been justified. But this week, the Oscars, they showed up and they showed out, and they hit the Sinners with the most nominations, I believe, for any single film in an Oscar nominating period. And I believe it's justified. When you watch, look, I've seen Sinners 3 times in theaters, twice at home. I literally bought tickets to see it again this weekend just to support it. I couldn't go, but I bought tickets anyway just to say I'm down with this film. It is deserving of everything it gets. And for me, this is one time that I do believe across generations, across cultures, across ethnicities, I'd say at least 85% of the people who are film goers agree that Sinners is one of the best films made in the past year.
Yeah, I think it was more than a film for me, because as everything that Coogler does, there's always a layered approach to it. And I think there were too many unmelanated people comparing it. Oh, it was just dead before dawn, from dawn till dusk, from dusk till dawn. And I was like, yeah, but no, it really wasn't. And I tried to explain to people who had not yet seen it and who were contemplating seeing it. And there was one of my high school friends who is up in Chicago, and he was talking about going to see Sinners, and one battle after another. And so I was saying both films are excellent, but they're definitely different. But the thing about Sinners is that it is nominally a vampire movie because there are vampires in it, but it is not a vampire movie. It is a movie about a whole lot of things, and the vampires are kind of like the MacGuffin. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about the movie that I think really makes it as strong as it is that it is the rare movie where everything literally takes place over the span of 24 hours. And so the storytelling necessarily has to be tight. And of course, you're not seeing a 24-hour movie, but they slice and dice. You get the intro, and then you get the prep, and then you get the introduction of the main antagonist, and then you get the nightfall, and then everything kicks into high gear. And so it was really, really, really well done in a way that Marty Supreme was not.
Can I interject something?
Of course.
Because I think I'm going to be kind of the counterbalance to all the love that Sinners is getting. And I want to remind people to approach this with caution. I liked the movie, but I didn't like overwhelmingly love it. Got to see it 4 and 5 times. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I think people should be reminded of history. Yes, the Oscars are not the same today as they were in 1985, but I am reminded of The Color Purple, which received 11 nominations and not one Oscar win. I say that to say, don't get too caught up in the nominations, because Best Picture, you're talking about one of the 10 best. And the other categories, one of the 5 or 6 best. It doesn't mean that Sinners is going to walk away with a statuette in any of those categories, much less multiple ones. So I want people to have a degree of, I don't know how, temper their enthusiasm just a bit, because this is how you set yourself up for an extreme disappointment, not understanding how the process plays out. Just because you got 16 nominations doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden deserving of 1, 2, 4, or 5, or some proportionate level of wins versus nominations. That's all I'm going to say.
I agree with you, Mo, but I will say that now I'll admit, here's my disclaimer. I did not see all of the movies in the category. I've seen 4. And I think Train Dreams is a beautiful movie. It's on Netflix. It is a beautiful film. And I actually always think about how much time has shifted so much for people. If you've lived 100 years, you really have seen a lot. And so it's kind of giving that vein. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Would I give it best film? No. I'm surprised it's not. Now that's the surprise I'm nominated if I had to see the 4. F1 was nominated. I thought F1, and it's been nominated a lot, I think. And I was kind of surprised at how much chatter is about it being nominated. I thought it was a really good movie. And I love the intensity. You were the edge of your seat. Mm-hmm. And I think it gives us it's an Apple movie, Apple TV, y'all. But I think it gives you a good sense on why action movies should be nominated. I know it's not an action, nobody's killing each other, but it is an action film when it's edge of your seat. Mm-hmm. And I think 2 parts that we need to, that the special part for me. 1, Brad Pitt looked healthy in this film. Like not drinking.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He just looks healthy and happier. And then the second thing, and that's just the second thing is the co-star. I know there's rumors of him being Black Panther, but I think that this is a good turning point to get him more recognition because he's a good actor. I am jumping on that. I don't think that Sinners is going to get a lot, but I am still jumping on the plane. I saw Sinners last night, And Ryan Coogler's films as a whole gets better every single time you watch it, because there's like all these little nuggets that you never really think about. And when you hear all of the interviews, and to know that some of the singing in the car was impromptu, Delroy, and then also to see how involved Ryan Coogler's wife was in some of these scenes. I just think that it's and there's nothing that you could cut from it where you're like, oh, I don't need to see this. Everything is so tight versus Marty Supreme. I think Marty Supreme is going to win way more than what I think it should. And Tom did it better when he said in the chat, he's an asshole. Marty, this is a movie about the character is a complete and utter jerk.
Hey, Dr. Liz, before you jump in, so we can remind people, up for Best Picture, just comparison point, we have The Secret Agent, Marty Supreme, F1, Frankenstein, the Netflix movie, One Battle After Another, Begonia, I couldn't even make it through that, Train Dreams, Sinners, Hamnet, and Sentimental Value. I've seen, to Liz's point, maybe 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
But it ain't gonna be Sinners. It just ain't gonna be.
Now, and going back to your earlier point, for me, Sinners being nominated, for me, look, we talk about this, or we did talk about this all the time on the Mo Kelly show and later with Mo Kelly. These award shows, they're not for us. And when I say us, I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about really and truly, they're not for your average film goer. The voting panel, they are not looking for the things that we're looking for, which is why some of the biggest films that we have loved have never seen the light of day. And then they create these erroneous categories just to try to bring the masses in to watch the Oscars. Say, okay, we're gonna give you best action choreography and nominate something like a Tom Cruise film, when it's like, dude, like, Tom Cruise should have been nominated Best Actor for some of his performances, for the acting he's putting in, the physical acting and all that he puts in. So for me, Sinners could walk away with 0 awards, and I would just shrug my shoulders and say, yeah, the Oscars is doing the Oscars, not on some Oscar so white stuff, but just the Oscars and the voting body does not recognize, for me at least, good filmmaking, which is why some films get nominated that absolutely should not be. For me, it is just the idea that they did not snub the film as they have in the past with films that are super deserving and absolutely get snubbed in all categories.
If Sinners took place on a slave plantation, it would win.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. If it was a story of a slave, and a slave who was a vampire, and a white slave master who was able to save him through Christianity, all that.
I actually think a little bit on the brighter note is because Sinners has been doing something. Whoever's pushing Sinners is doing an excellent job, because they're having Ryan Coogler sit with James Cameron and having all of these, not trying to just box it in with him sitting with Spike Lee, which I did watch the interview, which was good, but they're putting it in the conversation with all of the people in the back who I think are trying to do a lot more maneuvering and campaigning for Sinners, to where I would be surprised that it would walk away with nothing, just because it feels like they're trying to give a nod to Ryan Coogler and Sinners in general.
So I will say this. The flip side of the argument about Color Purple, and I think that was many years ago, and also it was Steven Spielberg directing this Black story that was somewhat disavowed by the author, and stunt casting with Oprah, and there were lots of things. I guess I could say I was kind of surprised that perhaps Quincy Jones didn't win, like, the song for the Sister song. But
guys, trying to tell you something. Oh,
yeah. No, it was Sister.
Seeley.
It was Seeley's, whatever. Yeah, that song.
Been on my
So,
mind.
what I will say is that I see 4 in a possible. I do not believe this is going to goose egg. I do not believe it. I refuse to believe it. And among the reasons why is the Titanic. Titanic won 11 Oscars. And that's a lot. It didn't win all of them because it didn't win any acting Oscars. But it did win 11 Oscars. And James Cameron got Best Director probably because it got so many nominations. And so that's my one argument for Coogler. I think Coogler has a good, strong shot at getting director. It's the second most profitable of the Best Picture nominees. F1 is number 1. And I think F1 is less of a surprise than some other kind of nominally sports movies because you had like Ford versus Ferrari, which did very well. That was considered a serious film. And there's something about the machine part of racing and the singular competition of it that makes it a little bit different than like a football movie, for instance. I think Best Original Screenplay, Coogler has a very strong chance. There's a lot of smaller movies in some of these categories that not very many people saw. And I think Coogler is getting a lot of heat about how this story was, how it played out, its originality, blah, 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 blah. Lubid has already won Best Score. So I think it's not a reach to think that he might repeat that. And that's also a very fair category for it. I mean, you know, a lot of, and to put not too fine a point on it, the score for Marty Supreme was ass. They used all modern music set 40 years to 50 years after the framework of the story. And it just felt like I'm Timothy Chalamet and I'm young. And so I'm producing and I'm going to choose this music. And it was, that part of it was weird, but I think score, I think screenplay, I think probably Wound Me is Tiana Taylor is just a force of nature right now. And taking the Golden Globes is probably a pretty good harbinger for her. It is different populations because again, it's the critics at the Golden Globes, but it's her actual peers. And so I think it's down to Wound Me or her, because there are 2 women from the same movie who are also in the supporting category. They're going to X each other out. And that just leaves Wound Me, Tiana, and the one other person. And I think it's probably going to come down to Wound Me and Tiana on that one. So that's a possible, I would say. As much as I'd love to see Delroy Lindo win, I don't know if he will. I don't think they're going to give it to Michael B. Jordan, but I think he has earned it because basically you're talking about him and Marty. And the problem, like I said, my mom said the exact same thing. This is Marty Supreme or Mepreme, because it was very mad to me. There's like 5 different stories, lots of unresolved dangling plot threads, but it was well acted. It was well acted. The people acted. But this is a movie, I can't remember a movie where I was less enthusiastic about the person I was supposed to be cheering for. Maybe
if he lost, like if he lost, oh well.
Right. And here's the thing. Most of these, it's Marty Supreme is very much like the Queen's Gambit. Undeniably talented person, not likable person.
Oh.
And so it's very hard to root. He is a douche bag. Every single choice he makes in this movie, he is a complete douchebag. He fucks over his friend Tyler, the Creator. He fucks over his has-I girlfriend Gwyneth Paltrow. There's so many things going on in this movie, and the guy apparently upon whom it's based did have a very colorful, interesting life. But one of the major plot threads of the movie is completely invented, and that's the Rachel character, who is basically the one of 2 kind of love interests in the movie, completely made up. And so what you're left with is, yes, he did fight this Japanese person on the ping pong table. Yes, he was a hustler. I think the Wally character is also probably invented. There's a big subplot with this kind of gangster gambler dude and a dog. And there's another plot with his obese best friend who he tries to go into business with on orange colored ping pong balls. We don't ever really even get an explanation of why the movie's called Marty Supreme. It's very, very weird. But that said, Timothée Chalamet, this whole movie is on his shoulders. You're not supposed to like the character. I can't cheer for the character. And again, in any sports movie, you're expecting the climax to be something that is triumphant, where you can really be behind the character. He's come from behind. He's an underdog, blah, 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 blah. This movie, it's like, get up off the floor, bro. Like, go back to your baby mama. And so that being said, I don't know that Ruth is going to get it again, because she's already won twice, like in the last 3 years. And so that just feels like a lot. Again, deserved, but I just don't know. And I think there's probably a couple of other technical things that maybe the song, maybe the "I Lied to You" song.
No,
I was about to say, that's
no.
a lot
It's
of.
Well,
gonna
I'm not saying. I'm saying
it's going to
it
go to the
could.
K-pop people.
Oh yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters is the favorite, I would say, probably. Because K-pop Demon Hunters gets radio play. I don't think "I Lied to You" got radio play.
Okay,
but since Miles Caton was not nominated for an acting challenge, I could maybe see them giving that to them, because K-pop Demon Hunters isn't up for very much, and it appeals a lot to kids, which is not really the voting population. And so I think maybe the technical people who appreciate music more than just pop songs may go for something that was more rich and complex, especially if Göransson does take score as I anticipate. So I would say for a possible anything more than 4, I would say is a surprise. But I am expecting original screenplay for sure, because they want to give Coogler an Oscar. I think they want to give Coogler an Oscar for this movie.
I mean, think about this. Ryan Coogler, every project he's had has been nominated.
Yeah.
And he has not have a non-nominated project. I know he didn't get nominated for an Oscar with Eyes of Wakanda, but that was nominated for NAACP award and some other awards. I mean, all of his projects have been nominated. And to be frank, I don't have a movie that he didn't do well. Like, I fundamentally love Fruitvale Station. I cannot watch that as
yeah.
That's a tough.
I was just melted. And then I was thinking about this last night, knowing we were going to be here. I mean, as much as I love Creed, all 3, I liked Creed 2, but actually, if I put it on his back, I think Creed 1 is the thing, because it really
Creed 1 is
set
the best.
tone.
Yeah, Creed 1 is absolutely the best. Absolutely.
Now, I will say, I would not be mad if One Battle After Another won Best Picture.
I would.
Now, Tom, I would literally, I would have to firebomb a theater if that crock of shit won anything.
I'm just gonna say,
I absolutely hate it.
That's a rhetorical conversation. We're not firebombing.
Right.
I'm gonna see Hamnet tomorrow, so you can check my Instagram for the review. Yeah. So there's
we
have seen the top 3
on the show. Okay, and I think her performance of the daughter, Leo's daughter.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought her role was the most redeeming of that shitty ass movie.
Yeah.
It was
designed. You think it was that bad?
I thought it was horrible. The
plot, the story, the made up revolutionary group, trash, all trash, all at the height of suspension of belief for anything that was even remotely possible. I thought that film was absolutely
long. It's
okay,
long.
So here's all I will say. Like I said, Sinners had these nominal vampires. One Battle After Another had the nominal absurdist aspects of the script. So the Christmas Club and Sean Penn's Maniacal Whatever, and the whole border town that had the built-in infrastructure or the anti-ice whatever. What I will say is that as outlandish as some aspects of One Battle After Another were, what country are we living in right now?
Oh no. Trust
And
and believe.
so-
All of that, I caught all that as thinly as they laid it out. There was nothing deep about what they were doing, and it's very but that was still whack.
And I didn't think it was supposed to be deep. I think it was supposed to be archly satirical, which is why I was able to enjoy it. I didn't enjoy every aspect of it. I thought Regina Hall was very good.
Let me ask you guys a question on the Regina Hall part. Are we just like Delroy Lindo? Because I think that he's been overlooked tremendously. You know, me and Mo are in love with The Good Wife and The Good Fight.
Yep.
That man has played his behind off.
When we had him on our show, it was for the Five Bloods, and personally, I believe his performance in the Five Bloods was better than Sinners.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I agree.
But what are we thinking? Regina Hall is being overlooked?
Yes.
I agree with that.
Taylor was only in the movie for a good 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think that her role of the performances in the film, just based on the performances, I thought her performance and the performance of the karate instructor,
Benicio del Toro.
I thought those were my two favorite performances. But Regina, her performance was the most believable of any of the characters, and I think that she was the one who was most invested in turning in a believable and realistic performance. Most everyone else, to me, they were acting. The daughter, to me, this was her first role, so she was going for broke. She was trying to show that she could really do it, hanging against these heavyweights, especially someone like standing next to Leo. She was going for broke, trying to show that she could do it, and I believed her. But for me, outside of that, you know, it fell on deaf eyes and ears. I could have taken a nap, and I would have been good on that film. But Regina, yes, I think. Not only is she being slept on any recognition that we've seen thus far in any of these award cycles, but I think she's being slept on as an actress, period. She is not getting the nods that she should be getting with the level of talent that she has.
Well, go ahead, Mo.
I have one quick rebuttal to that. Part of it is because I don't know, and this is not a statement about Regina Hall. It's a statement about the industry. I don't know if Regina Hall is quote unquote sexy enough in a film like that to get the type of attention that she would need opposite of Tiana Taylor, opposite Chase Infinity, because that's just how Hollywood works. I don't believe that movie was marketed with the idea of great performances. They were marketing it largely due to great names, Benicio del Toro, Leonardo DiCaprio, now Tiana Taylor. And so when these companies submit their awards, they're not trying to pit themselves against themselves if they were presumably to get nominations. So I don't believe that Regina Hall, the answer is I don't believe Regina Hall was even considered or submitted for consideration.
But I would agree with that. And I would say to a point that you were making before about if sinners were set on a slave plantation, Tiana Taylor actually had an absolutely amazing performance in 1001. That was a phenomenal performance.
I believed it all the way to the end.
Much more layered, much more nuanced, not at all cartoonish.
So
the
good.
Story and arc, there was an actual legitimate stunning twist at the end. And it was you were left with a lot more hope about her character and the choices that she ended up making and how she needed to move beyond those choices and what she did to create an environment for the child she was raising. Yeah, it was. Now that was a movie that was criminally overlooked in terms of award season. But to this point, because we're kind of near the end of this cycle on this particular topic.
I would say though, no, but can I say
it's not going to be an awful. It's not going to be.
I would say Regina Hall's performance, I know you guys didn't like the movie, but Hunk for Jesus, the Regina Hall's performance in that movie was so stunning.
Yeah, she was good.
I like Talk for Jesus. That's another very challenging movie, dealing with some challenging topics. Sterling K. Brown was good in that movie. It's just difficult to watch that. It was just like 12 Years a Slave. 12 Years a Slave was the best movie I will never watch again.
I think that the movie, I think was it last year when they nominated, and then I'll stop talking. When they nominated, because I was prepared for this, that should have won. They didn't nominate for cinematography. It was the Nickel Boys. They nominated for best film. But if you guys ever watch that movie, for the cinematography of it, it is just gorgeous. Because it's shot in first person. And the concept that the first time you get a glimpse of the person is in, remember those old irons? A reflection of himself in the iron. Like, I mean, it is just a gorgeous film.
Wow.
And the reason why it was shot, that I don't want to give too much away, it's based on a true story. And it's a hard watch. You probably watch it once and be done, because it's based on the boys' camps that they would have in the South right after slavery. And this particular one was actually just closed maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. But it's such a phenomenal movie, and they made it for best film. And I knew it wasn't going to get that because a lot of people hadn't seen it. But the cinematography is another one that they should have nominated that one for. It should have won. It is just stunning.
Well, that's why I say, like, these award shows in general, they're not for those of us who are, average film going cinephiles, those of us who, absorb and love movies from Netflix and all the streaming platforms. And, we watch, everything from, John Wick to Joan of Arc. We watch it all, and we appreciate a lot of films for what they are. Like, for me, when I think about the Oscars, same thing I think about the Grammys. I don't care, and if I want to see who won, I don't have to even watch these damn award shows. I will get the deets later on threads or whatever. I'll find out who won. These award shows are a waste of time, and they are literally a bunch of glad handing and self-congratulatory praise that really is not for any watching audience. It's not for us in the first place. The Oscars have nothing to do with us as a viewing audience. They are not acknowledging our viewership, our ticket buying, any of that. They do not care about those of us who are consumers. There's a bunch of individuals sitting around and giving themselves praise, and why we even pay attention to that stuff is ridiculous. Me, I go to the movies for escapism. I go to the movies to see something that's going to blow my mind on the big screen, and I'm going to enjoy it, which takes us to, for me, a trailer that I was not looking forward to. But when the trailer for Masters of the Universe actually dropped, I was surprised at how good I thought it was. And looking at the trailer for the new Masters of the Universe film, there are so many nods to the characters, from this 80s cartoon that, watched as a kid after school, and, collected all these damn action figures, had the Snake Mountain and the Castle Grayskull, had the non-moving Panthrone. I mean, all these different characters. I had all these things. So for me to see a movie that I thought it was going to be a total goof, but it looks like they're actually trying to take it serious. And I like the trailer. Tom.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
How is it that the planet Eternia apparently has the same barber as Caleb in Stranger Things? Because I do not know what is going on with Idris Elba's hair outside of that helmet. Man at Arms, he looks very Man at Arms-ish. Out of Man at Arms, he looks like Frederick Douglass's unwashed baby cousin. I do not understand.
It's been a rough few years in Eternia. It's been a rough few years.
But Adam always had the fly bob, right? So I don't understand how Man at War,
I mean,
Man at Arms, like the crazy.
Look, I hope when he gets back to Eternia, they all go to the local shop. You know, Idris gets lined up and gets his fro done, because I believe that when we see him in that trailer, it's been years since, you know, Eternia has succumbed to Skeletor, and He-Man's coming back. And so after he gets back, that's when Idris will get in the barbershop. You know, he'll get his outfit together, because his outfit was looking rough. Panther, not Panther, but Battle Cat was looking, you know, he was looking dusty, you know. But then when you see him later, he's green,
faded, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was faded, but it's because he hasn't had any good food. You know, he's just been out there living on the lamb. He's a wild cat with no mask. I'm just saying, everyone was rough. But the amount of characters that they're throwing into this film that you see when you look at some of the freeze frames, you see Trapjaw, you see Spikor, you see Roboto in there. You see so many characters. Fisto is knocking folks out. For me, this is like this is a nerd-tastic dream come true. Seeing this thing come happen.
So somebody, I put this up on the screen from Robcat67, because he says he's excited for Master of the Universe. I'm not even mad about pronouns on the desk nameplate. And so Stephen Miller was very mad about it. But here's the thing. His character name is He-Man. The pronoun is in his damn name. And if you don't think that pronouns on the nameplate was not about pronouns as much as it was about his name is finna be He-Man. That's why him was on the nameplate. It had nothing to do with wokeness. It was all about a joke, because he is the man. And the crazy thing about the phenomenon that this property has become, the backstory is Star Wars action figures sold.
Yep.
A crap ton. And so they were like, well, we have to do our own thing. Hence, you have a big sword. Thundar the Barbarian had a fire sword, which was like a lightsaber. He's got a big sword that is imbued with power by magic. They had these casts for these figures, and they were like, well, who is this thing with the skull gonna be? And who is this monkey-looking thing gonna be? And who's this guy in all the armor? What's his story? Why does this tiger have armor? What color should the tiger be? And then they built the mythology around the basic. All of these body parts were all bulging biceps and pecs. And they were like, so they're all He-Man. And one He-Man just ain't got no flesh on his face because he's a skeleton. Yeah. Until we meet again. So I'm just saying.
The voice never matched.
I mean, come on.
It never.
And I don't know what Jared Leto is going to do, but Skeletor character design looks good.
Yeah.
He looked appropriately menacing. I was never a big He-Man person to watch those cartoons. I really wasn't. But you know, I'm glad it looks better than the Dolph Lundgren version. And so there's that.
I mean, for me, look, I grow up. I look, honestly, I used to ditch school so I could try to make sure I watched, you know, cartoons. I grew up on all the G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man. I absorbed all of it. I could not get enough seeing all of these properties now, fast forward all these years later, coming to life for me, and for them to be for them to do justice with them. Like, I wasn't as huge a fan when I first saw the new Street Fighter trailer, but then I looked at what you were saying, Tom, in the chat, and I went back, I looked at it, I said, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot too, because you know why? Because I love all this nerd shit happening on the big screen. I cannot get enough of it. And of course, look, when you think about and you know He-Man is going to do gangbusters, because why? They have built a whole entire theme park with a whole world dedicated to him in Arizona, and they are now opening a new one somewhere, another one, I believe, in the Midwest or something, another Mattel theme park world. We will be getting another Barbie movie. We're going to be getting properties all up the wazoo from Mattel and all their properties, because they have a theme park dedicated to this shit.
It makes sense to get another Barbie movie. I mean, it's $1 billion property now. But did anybody, I don't remember if we talked, I'm sure we may have, because I watched it, She-Ra, right?
Oh yeah, the animated series.
I didn't like the last season, but I mean, I guess if they're going to get mad at the He-Man pronouns, then don't watch the last season of She-Ra.
Oh,
Well,
how they brought out the lesbian truth
I mean,
to
it
She-Ra.
was so overtly lesbian.
It was in your
But
face.
also, don't watch His and Hers.
don't watch His and Hers. Don't watch the new Star Trek show. Don't watch anything because they don't understand the source material at all.
Yeah,
At all.
yeah. Yes,
Stephen
absolutely.
Miller
Look,
saying-
don't watch Superman. Don't watch anything. All
Don't
of
watch
you
Batman.
anti
Don't watch X-Men.
assholes, don't watch X. Don't watch Avengers Doomsday. Please
watch
don't watch
Punisher,
that. Don't
'Cause
watch
he
Punisher.
been
Don't watch
fucking
none of
eyes
it.
up right about now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the world that we're living in, where you have all these individuals now being able to go and knock on the door of the FCC saying, "Should our children be watching this?" What is it that you guys are expecting? You just want us, watching, biblical cartoons? Fuck out of here! Like
They
this
got a
stuff
whole
is not for you.
relationship. But I mean, to be fair, are we about to get Care Bear movie? What about a Rainbow
Yes.
Bright movie?
We are getting the Care Bear
I know.
movie. Okay, the
Listen.
Care Bear movie is coming into effect.
Are we gonna do Rainbow Bright?
No, I haven't heard about Rain, but I
Yeah,
have seen a
you never
production for
looked
Strawberry
at it.
Shortcake.
Ooh,
Strawberry
All I
Shortcake.
want,
Why not?
Hungry
all I
Hungry
want
Hippos.
Hungry
is
Hungry
a-
Hippo. What is that? What can I? What movie
That's a
can I?
Marvel
Actual
game.
film.
I
know, but they're gonna
want-
make a movie out of it, Tom. If they're gonna make, how's this work?
Yeah,
I
just like they're
understand.
doing
There's-
Hot
there's
Wheels.
not- Listen, they made movies about a rabid Pooh Bear and a damn piglet. Stop it. People make movies about anything. Give me Thundercats, though. Thundercats is a property.
Live action?
No, Avatar style.
Okay.
I
okay.
want
okay.
I want fully real photorealistic
So let's not do
animation.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Because actors couldn't do it.
No,
But-
no.
If you had Zoe Saldana as Chitara, and you had, pick a brother with a deep voice, Keith David as Panthro. Pick a person to be. It probably would be somebody like Chris Pratt as Lion-O. I'd prefer somebody with more
Probably.
heft.
Yeah.
But it could be Lion-O, or it could be somebody like Chris Hemsworth or something like that. And I'm just saying, you have Morgan Freeman as Jaga because he ain't got to move his hand or anything.
Hey. He's got about 2-3 years at most. Okay.
Look, I'm sure they'll start working on it now. They need to.
I'm just saying, you
better hurry up.
Lindo, any Thundercats would actually be fire. When they did the rebooted version, the animated version, where they kind of tricked up the mythology a little bit. I enjoyed that. It was certainly a lot better than that goofy ass Thundercats
Look, Brandon Easton was a part of that reboot, and it was dope. Brandon Easton put pen to paper.
Well, did you guys see the new trailer? I sent you guys a new trailer for Mario.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, I didn't play Mario as a kid. I didn't play the game. I would play. My brother would always grab me and throw me at turtles. I would get pissed off trying to play the damn game. I didn't play it in the arcade. I'm not a fan of Mario like that. I'm just not a fan of the other franchise.
This is, to be fair, just like the previous movie, this is an adaptation of the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 64 version of the game. It's not a side scroller anymore. And so Galaxy takes you all over these different places and everything.
That's true.
Which is the point. So it's not like the old school games.
And Kendrick Lamar is going to be the voice of Yoshi.
Oh, okay.
Why not? Sure. Look, sometimes some of these movies, when you look at the voice casting and they throw all these names out there, I think it's literally just to try to get people into the theaters.
Sure.
Show all these names. Kendrick is Yoshi. Sure,
yes.
That makes sense.
People will go see that movie because they are Kendrick Lamar fans. Yes.
And Rob Cat
living on a high.
Big shock there with Rob Cat agreeing that Thundercats is untapped. We're at 44 minutes and we still got two things.
Okay. Real quick then. I think for this new Supergirl teaser trailer that they dropped, finally showing us the main man, finally showing us Lobo. I think this is one of the best castings of casting that we have wanted since day one.
This is going to be a movie or a series?
Exactly.
Oh no. This is Jason Momoa finally as the character he was born to play, Lobo. He's going to be in the new Supergirl film, which drops this year, and I think he looks extremely badass. Not so sure about the acting, whatever. I don't care. He is good. He's born to play this role.
Listen,
but the movie's not Lobo.
Khal Drogo.
Right.
Well, no. The movie is not Lobo, but this is our introduction to a Lobo that James Gunn has already said we will be getting a Lobo project. He just has to be introduced.
We should have gotten a Lobo project before this Supergirl project. I said it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got Supergirl and you've got the follow-up Superman film already in the mix. It's too much super. Give me something new.
Like a Green Lantern.
I mean,
even beyond Green Lantern,
Lanterns is coming.
Yeah, Lobo would have been dope if in the Superman sequel in the next film, it would have been about the main man coming to hunt down Superman, having nothing to do with Luthor or anything else that was happening. Just as anytime we've been introduced to Lobo in any of the animated films or anything like that, his mission has always been, we always introduced to him by him coming to take out Superman, to hunt him down, to hunt down the last Kryptonian.
I'm gonna tell you what, DC is 2 seconds away from my Star Wars from losing me. I'm gonna go, but I'm not enthusiastically walking in the theater to see a DC anything.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, in 3 days, we're getting all of Wonder Man, and whatever marketing juice they decided to turn on, Wonder Man has a Rotten Tomatoes score that is out of this world. All of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh snap! Maybe it's because it's Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I don't know." But people are the critics are loving this series.
Are they
I'm hyped for this shit.
Source material? I don't know. I'm asking.
Well,
it's
a twist on the source material.
Yeah, the character origin, the character Wonder Man is an actor. And there is word that there may be some of the origin to his story, but yeah, he Simon Williams is an actor who was infused with ionic energy in some play by Ultron to infiltrate the Avengers, and there was a big battle, and then he found, the Avengers are good, I want to be friends, I got to betray you, Ultron, and there was a whole battle. Then him and Scarlet Witch got together while Vision was out of the picture. Yeah.
Beat it up, beat it down.
He beat it up, and then Vision came back, and it was a whole triangle. There's a lot
because Vision's personality was predicated on Eric and Simon's brain patterns.
Yep.
It's only natural that they would both kind of fall for the Scarlet Witch. The interesting thing is that the character design of the movie character in the film within a film that is being recreated looks like the Simon Williams from the comic books.
From the comics, yeah.
So the Mateen character, I'm not sure if we're supposed to believe, because obviously he wasn't a villain who had powers and all that other sort of stuff, and then has a redemption arc. So maybe they're just trying to pick up on the fact that Simon turned into an actor a stuntman mostly because he was completely invulnerable. And so maybe they're kind of picking it up with an inversion of that, where he starts as the actor who does have his powers during the audition because they ask if he has his powers and he has to lie. So I'm going to say that just the scene of him smashing that damn granite-topped island in his kitchen while people are like, what is going on? That may have turned it around for some people, because I was not a fan of the Trevor Slattery Foolie Wang. But as soon as he started showing powers, I was like, okay, I trust
the eyes hit that. With the eyes hit that ionic red?
Yeah, the ionic red bubble thingies. Yeah, I trust the actor, and apparently it's going to be well. I think they're saying it is the best or second best reviewed Disney Plus Marvel series.
Yeah, so far from all the critics who have hated everything, with the exception of, I think maybe there were some who liked Loki and some who liked a couple other things, but they've all to almost to a person have said, wow, this is something. When there was one review that I read that I was like, okay, now I'm all in. They said, when Marvel says this series is unlike anything we've ever seen before, believe them. because it actually is. We've never seen this from any company on a take on a superhero story. It's genius what they do. They could be blowing smoke, but look, I'm already getting ready for the binge. I'm binging the whole thing.
Hawkeye season 2. Was it officially canceled? I know that he was not. He said they're not going to pay him, and he's like, I'm not coming. But I thought that they were going to go forward with the girl.
There was thoughts. But then had a whole snowplow thing and a whole bunch of rigmarole around that. And it's kind of like, they just said, look, here's what we'll do. We'll quietly back away. We're not gonna say nothing. You're not gonna say nothing. So we'll leave it open. Let's not draw any attention to it, Jeremy. Just let's leave well enough alone. Okay, we'll just
pay no attention to that archer behind the curtain.
Right.
I will say that I did see that new Chris Pratt movie.
Mercy.
Oh, Mercy.
But why don't we can save that for next week when more people have seen it, because we're trying to close this. We're trying to land this plane. So Tawala, are we ready to talk about what we're watching on TV?
Yes, because I definitely need to know what y'all are watching, because I need new stuff to watch.
Mercy for None.
Mercy for None. What is that?
It is Korean John Wick.
Interesting.
And it is an 8-episode Korean John Wick, down to the fact that, in the John Wick universe, they have the clearinghouse where people can hire stuff for murder. They have a similar thing to that. You've got corrupt cops. You've got 2 warring factions. You've got a John Wickian, implacable, boogeyman. And instead of his dog being killed in the very first episode, actually in the first 10 minutes, they kill his brother. And he don't like that.
What network?
This is on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I've got that.
Mercy No More. Mercy for None. Mercy.
I don't have Apple, so I'll never know what's good on there. But what is good on there, Liz?
Actually, Movie Guy asked a question about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's getting a lot of plays on HBO.
Already renewed for a 2nd season.
Oh, that's the spinoff from the Dragon.
But I'm gonna say that I do not like what's happening at the moment. I thought I know a lot of people liked it. They're like, oh, it's light. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah, it looks funny. There's no incest and no murder. Probably murder. But
this is supposed to be the family line that's attached to the knight in
Stark, Lannister.
And but it's supposed to be the tall woman. The tall. This is her family line.
The Lannister.
Okay.
No, she's not a Lannister.
No, not the Lannister. The tall blonde one.
Who plays Death in Sandman.
Gotcha.
I don't care. I mean,
she's in love with Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, she was. Why do I care about that particular character? I do not know. And the thing that bothers me did you hear about, well, I don't want to get into it, but there's a big hoopaloo about the whole series. But anyway, I'm not recommending it, but I'm watching it. I think it's boring, but teach you.
What you watching, Mo?
Since we last talked, there was a note from Tom in our personal text about his and hers. I had just started it at that point. I don't think we discussed it here. I'm just going to say very quickly, if you haven't seen it, go your ass and watch it. It is a well-told story. Not perfect. I have some questions about character motivations and how things could be done or not known or known, but I think it was worth my time. It's a 6-part limited series, and the end, you're going to wrestle with it for a while.
Wait, no, what is it? Is that the one with Bernthal and
Tessa Thompson? Okay. And they play an estranged married couple. That's not
who
giving
never should have been married.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Because if you think fine ass Tessa Thompson ends up with the accountant's baby brother, I got a knuckle sandwich for you. There was no way that
They
chemistry.
looked like they were estranged.
I mean, they looked like they were strange, not estranged. They were a strange couple
together.
Okay, I think part of your problem is that Tessa Thompson and Michael B. Jordan have great chemistry. So seeing her with other they do on Creed 1, 2, and 3. They have great chemistry.
It's a
Tessa
false
Thompson does not have a great chemistry with her than anybody else.
Comparing chemistry. We're looking at just those two people, John Bernthal, Tessa Thompson.
We're talking about human beings.
They
those
look
two
like
human beings.
It was the first read in for a high school table read or something. It was just nothing.
It was, and he is not good. He is too New York to be an Atlanta backwoods sheriff, and he leaned into this one repeated word trope, which I never bought. I didn't like it. And apropos of nothing at all, where is Tessa Thompson's character's white father? Because ain't no way that actor from A Fall from Wigs, which is what I call the A Fall from Grace movie that she was in Tyler Perry's universe.
Damn.
Ain't no way that sister had a Tessa without a whole lot of leche in the latte.
She's been in a lot of Tyler Perry projects.
Yeah.
Yes, and a Fall from Wigs was ashtray, bitch.
Yeah, no, it was worth it. I know we're trying to get out of it, so I'm just saying it was worth my time. I enjoyed it, and I lost nothing for it. I wasn't angry at it. And it has a nice little twist at the end where it's just like, I didn't necessarily conceive of that.
Correct.
Right. I think the only things I'm checking out right now, and I know I'm late to the party with like my daughter had me watching It and It Chapter 2, and I thought both those films were absolute trash. They're just absolute trash. But now we're getting into the Welcome to Derry series. And so watching that, peeping that out, the backstory that they're building, to me, it's taking me down a path where I said to myself, I'm not going to like where this goes, but sure, whatever. I'm on the ride. I think on Disney, surprisingly, because me and her, we get together on the weekends. We're watching stuff, so we're also watching the Percy Jackson, which the second season of that, which started off a little rough, but as the series grows, you see a story building. Although the child actors in this series, they're all bad. It's just bad children acting, very, very bad, and it's just like it's a real tough watch. But where we're at right now in the story, we're like in the last episode, we're like, oh, okay, this is slightly interesting. But for me, it's all about anime and Jujutsu Kaisen. I am telling you all, Jujutsu Kaisen, this last episode that just dropped is, oh my God, good. It is one of the goriest, most violent, most epically drawn animated episodes of almost anything you will ever watch. The culling game has officially started. So last week's episode, they really broke down what the culling game is and how it works. This week we get into it, and it's like I'm like this the whole time watching. I'm like, I have to cover my because I'm like, I can't believe I'm seeing people murdered like this. It's so gorgeously just epic. Oh my God. So yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, get on it. Get on Sentence to Be a Hero. Get on My Hero Vigilantes. Get your anime up. Crunchyroll for anyone who wants to get down.
Well, Percy Jackson is the season's over, right? And so there's going to be a season 3. I think it's weird because I was hoping that they were going to go book by book, but it seems like they finished the second book.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the book, so I'm not familiar with the source material.
The other weird thing is that both of these stories have been told in full-on theatrical releases.
Yeah, but they're trash.
No, they are different because there's a lot of breathing room because it's a series as opposed to trying to cram it into 2 hours. But
oh, I forgot about those. Damn. Yep. I forgot that. Yeah, with the one dude. Yeah,
the exact same stories that they're literally. The first one was the origin story. The second one was the lightning.
The lightning thief. Yeah.
But they're trying to kind of go more closer to the book material.
Right,
So a little bit. But it's just interesting that the second season, I thought was going, since the first season really tied the first book together, I thought that the second season would do the same thing, and it doesn't finish the second book. So
yeah, that's hardly surprising in this day and age. Just they did 3 whole seasons of Game of Thrones based off of the contents of the last book, and then they just started inventing shit, which is why. So.
All good. Well, next week we know we got Wonder Man. We will get into Mercy and so much more. So we definitely hope you tune in. It'll be Saturday or Sunday. Just make sure you are following us online on all the platforms so you see when it drops. But it will be next weekend. Dr. Liz, till then, take us out.
No mercy.
Mo Kelly.
Will Smith can still kiss my ass. That was a bitch move for slapping Chris Rock. I don't care if he stayed his ass or not. Liz, you can't talk anymore. Don't say a word.
You dirty dog. Tom.
Where is my gimbop suit?
Excelsior. Mo Kelly.